Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Tex-Trek First Reaction stream for the season 3 season finale of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, New Life and New Civilizations. Everyone want to go around and introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Stanley. I am the co-host of Salon Trek, which goes live 6:30 p.m. Thursdays Pacific time here on YouTube.
I'm Aaron Harvey, and I'm here.
And I'm RC Byler. I am a Trek fan and host of the Masks of Mayhem podcast along with Rachel.
Hey, I'm Rachel. I'm here, and also on the thing RC just mentioned.
There are other things I could have said, but
yeah. Everyone want to go and say what you thought of, like, first thoughts about the episode?
Sure. I think I'm in the first spot if I remember correctly. I enjoyed this episode. I did. I have many nitpicks, as I always do, because I'm a bitch. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lovely ending for Captain Patel, even though I have plenty of nitpicks of the execution and how we got here. I think the show deserves credit for doing something new, which is a weird thing to say about a show called Strange New Worlds, but I have bemoaned them not doing that, so I don't want to be a hypocrite. I want to acknowledge that they did something new today, because when I saw Captain Patel's eyes go all Gary Mitchell, my eyes rolled back into the back of my head, and then they didn't do that. So congrats to this team for trolling me specifically.
we said she's got Betty or Gary Mitchell eyes.
Visuals were stunning. I love that we got to see not enough, but plenty more of this society on Skywagon. What was it called?
Skygowan.
Skygowan.
Yeah.
Skygowan. Really cool. Those obelisks, the costuming, the away team led by Una. Most of the cast got a really fun moment. All of that said, a whole lot of this episode requires just a staggering amount of hand waving and, oh, that happened off screen, don't worry about it. This whole episode did at one point feel like just an excuse to get Jim Kirk back, and, well, we got to get rid of this bitch so that we can make more room for Kirk. But I did enjoy it. And I liked the flirting between Spock and Kirk. I'm not going to lie. Paul Wesley is too old, but he is charming. End of rant.
Aaron?
I really liked it. There's some pacing issues, I think, and definitely the hand waving, because I'm just like, oh, how did they get out of there? Okay, we're just not going to say. That's great. Reminded me of the lower deck scene where it's just like, oh, so they left us. We're alone. Because they're just sitting on this bridge in the space, I guess. Like, what? Like, yeah. Anyway, so there's some of that. I feel bad for Patel in a way, because it's just like she was actually becoming an interesting character. Like, I would have liked to have actually seen some of those things that she was going to do next season, and then have this happen after that, which would make her even more. People would be more emotionally attached to her at that point. But given that, I did like what they did. It's very Doctor Who in some ways. Strange New Worlds doesn't know what it wants to be, so this week it's Doctor Who. She even regenerates at one point. So, but yeah, no.
Through the power of love.
Yes. It's one of the. It's uneven, just like the rest of the season. It feels like it's maybe a good way to say it. And I also cried at the end, but that also it's more to do with stuff that's going on in my life, I think.
I'll say for myself, I fundamentally enjoyed the episode. However, I kept, you kind of mentioned, I think, Aaron, with talking about pacing, it's just like I felt like it would have been better served as a two-parter. Like, there could have been more build-up and then payoff at the end, because like I thought the concept was interesting, because I was like, I figured when we got that little bit with Gamble and Patel in the previous episode that was going to come back in some way. I wasn't actually expecting Gamble himself to come back, even though, because I thought it was just like what are the demon creatures called? Begins with a V.
Vesda.
Yes.
Yeah, the Vesda. I thought that it was going to be that creature, but like in a different body or something of that nature. I didn't think it was going to be regenerating the same character. But I like that actor, so it was cool to see them back, even just for a short, kind of more bit part in a way. But yeah, I liked it. I just felt like it felt rushed because I really wish, I think it could have been a two-parter. Like I also wish that there would have been like even another episode in between, like even if it's not a two-part necessarily, something where like they discovered Batel's connection to the Beholder, like found that separately, and then later made the connection of like, oh, this is how we stop them. Like that,
Yeah.
there just would have been a little nicer. Whereas this time it's kind of like, well, we've come up with our own problem, and now we need to come up with our own solution.
One thing before I see a couple people saying to turn up your mic a little, so if you're able to do that, I
I
would
wonder
say
how Patel became Patel. Like, or is she? No, I'll save that for later. Sorry, my ADHD just went. Like,
Always was and always will be.
Yeah, I did really enjoy the episode. There were pacing issues and stuff, but the Pike gets his inner light moment really worked for me, even if it is a little, doing something we've seen before. But I thought, Melanie
Scarfano.
I guess it on, and Anson Mount. This season especially, have had really good chemistry, and I really enjoyed those scenes with them together.
It's believable.
Yes, they work really well, and you're like, oh, I see why these people built a life together and how, like, or at least they wanted to. But I was joking when I was, so oftentimes I'll rewatch the episode while I put on my makeup before this, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna rewatch an episode that's made me cry every time I've watched it while doing makeup. It seems like a bad idea, but I did.
You want the Tammy Faye Baker look.
Yeah, and I did enjoy that. Like the entire ensemble got something to do, including like Sam, Jim for some reason is here, like.
Girl.
Yeah. I'm glad that Jim and Sam actually had a scene together again, though.
Sure.
That was so critical to me.
I wouldn't call that a scene. They had a moment and a cheers, but
they did have a moment. Although I know I talked to Aaron a little about this at some point. So at some point they thought this was a series finale, right? When they wrote this?
It feels like it, at least.
Yeah. That I wondered there was a thing of like, we're trying to wrap stuff up and not extending with Mattel because we're not sure if we now know they got a season 4 and 5, but I got the impression they were not aware of that.
Children of the Comet with the dress clothes and
like calling back to that first episode with Pike and Patel in that first episode, and calling back to like having Scotty get all dressed up. And it seems like they were like wrapping up stuff. I was like, let's show why Jim and Spock are so close. Let's set up the fact that like Pike is obviously single by the time we get to the menagerie. Because I always said, I was like, well, they're gonna have to do something, because like Patel doesn't seem like the type to abandon her partner once he becomes disabled, and I did like this addresses that. They're like, no, we are still going to be together after the accident. I guess more open. I guess we're more gone to like open thoughts. What I guess in the first I did kind of like that there was a red herring with like, she's gonna go be a lawyer, and you're like, nope. Life
I never
happened
believed
instead.
that for a moment.
Yeah.
I
never thought she was going to be able to be a lawyer. Like
it was a nice attempt. It was as much as I hated that episode, I did like that she got like she was going to get the promotion. Like that was like, that is an interesting route for them to take her, because she probably shouldn't be captain of a starship given her condition.
But like,
I-
yeah, I
Works with
actually had forgotten
statutes
about
now.
the flower and the and Una's blood. I only remember the. I guess I felt like there was a bit of a focus more on the Gorn aspect with the,
Mhm.
you know, trying to stuff the hatchlings. So like, I'd kind of forgotten about that. So I'm glad that they re-mentioned it. Still doesn't quite track for me why that leads to what we get, but
It doesn't.
Yeah, she's got mega DNA now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't sound like it often, but I do love this show. I enjoy it a great deal. But I just I'm going to be controversial yet brave. I think the two showrunners, Akiva and Henry, will have an idea. Wouldn't it be cool if X, very surface level, wouldn't it be cool if Kirk and Spock, whatever, and then they have their team right around it, make it make sense, be damned. And that's what we get
Mhm.
a lot. In this episode in particular, there were a couple of things that, like, I don't know if I feel like they're nitpicky or if they just don't sit right with me. Like the notion that pure evil just exists in the universe feels very weird to me and a little anti-Trek.
Mhm.
But that there's an equal and opposite, that love can bring us through, like that worked for me. But her being able to defeat Vesda Gamble worked for me. But
Mhm.
there's so much hand waving and so much like off screen or whatever. Like I 90s Trek would throw a lot of techno babble, but even if it was complete bullshit, there would be a level of scientific theory behind it that would then explain to the audience. In this episode, it was just, well, what if these three things that happen to have happened to me make me able to sense evil? Like, girl, what? Like, no. Like, they could have, if she had gone down to the planet with them in episode 5 and like part of this thing infused to her, like there's just a piece missing. There's some connective tissue that was missing, and you just have to accept because of the emotional weight behind it. And like the performances were so good in this episode that you're like the highway to hell or the space bus highway, which
lines.
could, yeah, the ley lines. Like, no, say more about that. That's a
Yeah.
fascinating new thing that you're
And Kirk
introducing.
is like, oh yeah, it's a real thing. You know,
Yeah, like,
Jim,
why didn't it-
Sam? I mean,
like they could have made that the mycelial network and like get a wink from Spock and be like, oh, we're not supposed to talk about that. Like something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was opportunity.
They'd
That
be
was
like
just
they mentioned the mycelial network and Spock and Pike are like moving on now.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
we can't talk about that.
that's crazy fake stuff.
Yeah.
also I wish we could have
would-
gotten a response from La'an about Gorn DNA being anti-evil DNA.
Yes.
She's like, we'll see. Maybe she still feels bad about killing one last week.
She didn't feel bad at all.
No, and they're just. I'm sure they're just going to drop that. People wanted to bemoan Uhura having a minor moment of stretching the rules to save her friend, but then not say, well, La'an just straight up killed a Gorn.
Yeah, shot on sight.
We're
Yeah.
not supposed to do that in Starfleet. But whatever. In this episode, I loved that. Well, sorry, I don't mean to move us past Batel's hand waving if we're not done talking about it. But speaking of hands, I loved La'an doing a double neck pinch and her and Chapel's moment, because it wasn't a weird, oh, you're with my boyfriend now.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
cutesy, like, oh, I tried to learn that. How did
Yeah.
you do it? Let me see your positioning. Like
Yeah.
that worked for me. It was a little bit of levity in a heavy episode.
And
Yeah,
I
I thought that
like,
was
yeah, I also like that. Like, we're not like not friends now. We're like, no, we're still friends. We're just like, but also, I was like, I'm not jealous. I was like, I'm not jealous you stole my boyfriend. I'm jealous he was able to teach you that thing I wasn't able to learn.
I think the line was, so that's what you two have been doing,
Yeah,
which is funny.
yeah.
Oh, and what about? Well, I'll say we don't have to go too far. I was gonna say about post mind melt.
Oh, Jim was like dance lessons. I feel like I call him Jim so much more on this show of Sam's in the episode.
That makes sense a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, overall, I found the plot was interesting. Like I agree, Stan, about the idea of like having like a fundamental evil. You know, Trek's always done a pretty good job of having like, you know, nuance. Like maybe I think the problem would be calling it evil. Like you could just say, well, I'll say this is the problem. These things aren't just like ravenous, hungry beasts. They are malevolent, according to Perez. So like, it's like. Yeah, I don't know. I would say we almost should have gotten a vision about like what these things would do with power other than cause chaos because
gouge eyes other than
like
the
so
eyes.
far,
eye
so
gouging.
far they seem to like
Star Trek
seem-
and eye horror.
yeah
Yeesh.
seem to not like eyes and to want to monologue.
Yeah.
And like
Relatable.
the actor was good at the monologue. I'll be honest. He's like, I like that actor. I was
His
like, glad
costume
to
was
see him
cool
again.
too.
His costume was really
The
cool.
scepter was a little much, but I was like, this is camp, and I love it.
Yeah.
It felt very
Well,
Lord
he's
Zed.
he's like worship me, so I'm like, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. Very, very Rita Repulsa. I was half
Yeah.
expecting him to throw it down from that obelisk to make it one of his minions grow.
But that's one of the things, though, right? Is that like we got to see this one being that was in the orbs take control, and now they have followers. How do you have an entire society where they are all the same level of godhood, for lack of a better term, in this case? You know, they can't all be worshipped.
Maybe
take
maybe
turns.
this guy's just really extra, and the rest are like just was like, I just want to like mess with them in secret.
I also wondered if he was faking godhood with his abilities just to get the bodies. Like
I think
he doesn't think he's a god,
Yeah.
maybe.
Maybe he's just
But
like, I
these
just need.
people do.
Yeah, he was like, I just need like the Enterprise to get over here so I can get Mbenga.
means to an end.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I didn't quite understand is that was one of the hand wavy flimsy things for me is why he needed Mbenga specifically.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because he was important to Gamble.
I
Could be.
think so.
Yeah, not very well explained. Like I
We want to give Babs something to do, I think might be the answer.
I mean, listen,
yeah.
I say I like the interaction between the two actors.
Yeah.
I was trying to really make sure I understood correctly what was occurring.
I think it was because my interpretation was because the Vesta had taken over Gamble and had his memories and then was in the ship's pattern buffer, which again, hand wavy, like figured out how to beam out of there with nobody noticing. Whatever, it's fine, I guess. Because of his Gamble memories, he knew that Mbenga could be lured to the planet because he needed a second person. He needed duality to get through the portal.
Oh, so maybe not necessarily Mbenga specifically, but
Yeah.
having that body meant that
Like he convinced Mbenga that
Yeah.
it had to be him, but it didn't really have to be him. He just
It was easier for Vesda Gamble to lure Mbenga than someone else.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. I don't feel like that was clear enough in the episode necessarily, but
Whatever is.
So is Batel a Batel? I mean, is she? How did that happen? My question is like, has she always been like a statue or what? It's sort of weird. Like
I got essentially a time loop out of that. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happened.
I
Like,
think.
because they had seen that in the past, they were
Right.
but it wasn't actually the past. They were going to in the future, like, you know.
But how did that happen though? I mean, just like what, did somebody
I don't know,
come
Cisco's
in?
the Cisco.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
Yeah.
wonder, like, was she zapped one night that we didn't see, obviously, or something, and that's what happened, or they did it to the parents when they had the baby, or
I think RC hit
the
it
cue?
Yeah.
for me just now. It just clicked because it wasn't clear enough in the episode, but they did set up in episode 5 and referenced it, but I don't think as effectively in this episode for her gaining the ability specifically, but effect preceding cause
Yes.
Yeah.
happening a lot, but like
Mhm.
how that happened while she was on the Enterprise. Like I get how it happens in that chamber. Like the chamber is part of it.
Yeah.
I think you're both triggering some interesting.
So I think the
Questions
chamber
about it,
like
'cause it wasn't
moved
clear.
her to like where she needed to be.
Mhm.
Or like maybe she kind of existed like at all points in time when she regenerated. That's what I think Aaron said.
Yeah. Or more of the if they had made more clarity about like the ley lines, like when Vesda Gamble hits that obelisk for the first time, and we see the
Yeah.
I got Farscape vibes from Mask
Oh,
Off
yeah.
guy. When that first happened to her, I was like, how the hell does that happen? But now that we're talking about it out loud, I'm like, oh, I have to put in some headcanon for it to make sense. And I know Will's gonna love that on the salon later because he hates headcanon. If like I could see that energy flowing across the ley line to the Enterprise, which is now traveling on that ley line because they're trying to find Gamble. They're by the portal. Like the pieces are there. They just chose not to put them together because they wanted to give us a mind meld between Kirk and Spock.
Yeah.
I think this whole episode
That
was
didn't work.
I think this entire episode started with how do we get Kirk and Spock to touch each other, and then they just build something around it.
And they're like, oh, and we can do the crazy interdimensional demons from the other episode. Oh, and we can also bring in the Gorn DNA thing. We're getting it all together.
And I'm not complaining about that goal. I want to be very clear. I also want to touch Spock, but I'm not going to write an entire episode around it.
No, but
It
like
seems
this
like
season really
between-
has. I listened to some of the past episodes, and this season really has done too much Kirk. Like as much as I really do enjoy Paul Wesley as Kirk, it's just like we keep finding excuses for this guy to be on the ship. Just make him part of the crew.
Yeah.
I
Or-
was like,
Even if it was like, oh, the Farragut is here, like it to me, the thing that was most annoying in this episode of Kirk being here is annoying generally. The other captain should have been the one to call in to talk to Pike. Oh, I know my first officer trained under yours and whatever a couple weeks ago. I'll send him over. Like you could have given her those two lines, but it made no sense that the first officer of the ship is calling the captain of another ship. Like,
From what looks to be like either the ready room or like his personal room.
I almost wonder if there was like a problem with like getting budgets for like guest stars in this episode, like extra ones, because it feels like she should have been in it, and it's weird that they kept mentioning Robert April and he never actually appeared in that. Like,
Right.
and I wondered, she was in it, but I wondered if they filmed that during the slot that ate its tail.
Yeah,
rather than have her come back for this week.
Someone say they think that like Paul Wesley's part was filmed new, and then they just had like a like we was imposed onto a shot from the Salat who ate its tail.
Oh,
could be.
Maybe.
Although because I'd read something because you mentioned the Gary Mitchell eyes. I guess that was they hadn't really told them what the eyes should look like, and they just kind of came back looking Gary Mitchell-esque, and they went, "Okay, let's do that." Like,
I mean, they aren't. When you see close up to them, you can tell. Okay, these are like supposed to be nebulas and stuff like that. It's like not exactly the same.
Well, maybe it's kind of like how all things trend towards crab and evolution. All things tend towards shiny eyes in powers.
Shiny-eyed lizards is where we're headed.
Yes, I did miss. I wish they would have went. Come on, Bob. But he's like, come knocking for your fate, Chris.
The knocking,
I did.
Yeah,
that was a good way of like
also very
moving.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, I also really like the transition, especially of the puppy to like the dog to show the passage of time was really good.
Yeah, that was clever.
Yeah, different dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those
no
terrible
time
child
they
actors.
completely waited 3 years for that puppy to grow up. That's how filming works, right?
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Depends
This
on the director.
season.
Could have, yeah. In no continuity does the fake pictures that are on the wall that have been photoshopped look good. Like even when they're blurry, you can tell that her face is too small on the bride, and like like this when she's holding the baby. I'm like, what? You know, somebody can do a meme in 2 seconds better than that. Why are you doing that?
It is odd that I was like, I feel like we probably could have found better pictures of them to put on that wall.
Yeah, that was on my. I didn't notice that because I was like, oh, this is cute, and then I had some problems with it, like the conceit of it. I get what they were doing. It was cute. The power of love compels her.
Yeah.
I do want to know how Pike feels about his daughter that doesn't exist now.
Yeah.
My goodness. And maybe he just doesn't care because she was a terrible actor. Like both both of them. I was like, those are the fakest child actor hugs. Like these people that day, they do not care about each other. There is no love lost in this fake / real I guess technically real family. Is it
like, did it
whatever?
happen and then it just
Yeah.
unhappened, basically?
Is it a ripple timeline?
Yeah.
I took it to mean it was like Inner Light-esque, that it happened in that second, and they just those two people, like,
When it comes back to Pike, he's like looking at his hands like, oh my God, they're not old and wrinkled anymore.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was honestly my biggest problem with the episode was him coming back, and then Batel, turns into light and becomes the Beholder. His reaction is just so muted. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I should see like sorrow, I should see like
Mhm.
more resignment. I expect him to drop to his knees or something, but he just stands
Yeah,
there and
that's-
stares into space, and that's like,
Yeah.
that was the only time where I ever felt like someone failed Anson Mount. Like, they didn't give him good direction.
Yeah.
Or he should have fought back against what they were saying. If
Yeah.
they were really directing him just to
Because
stand
yeah, I felt like the rest of the episode, and then he's like it's subdued in a way that makes sense to me.
He did a lot of anger in this episode, and some
Yeah.
of it I understood. Some of it felt like resignment or dissociating. That's a good way
Yeah.
to put it. I felt like he's resigned to this fact because he's already resigned to his own
Mm-hmm.
future,
Yeah.
and now he saw this, like what we could have had until that moment, and then oh shit, they're
Mhm.
here. I feel weird. I feel a little weird about it because I think Star Trek generally does not do disability well. And Strange New Worlds has been particularly bad about it. And in fact, in the previously on, they say they replay Pike again from the pilot saying, "I've seen my death." And I'm like, well, no. We've talked about this a lot, I think, here, and definitely on the Salon. It was like he's experienced his trauma that he knows is coming, and so he's getting through it. But to call it a death when really it's a disability,
Yeah.
he's going to become disabled. Like, it's a process,
Pretty
whatever.
bad disability.
Yeah, but what got me in this episode was, oh, what a gift that he sees this alternative with Marie, and that was what powered her to defeat this evil. But it also didn't quite sit right with me because it just sort of waved away his disability.
Mhm.
And oh, you'll be happy because the accident didn't
Yeah.
happen. And I want to be as clear as humanly possible. I understand that not going through a horrific accident and ending up in a beep chair is potentially a good thing. I get
Yeah.
that fully. But for his happy life to happen because he did not go through that accident. Like, I kind of wish that, like, this is going to sound awful and I don't know another way to say it. I wish they had lightly disabled him. Like, give
No,
him
I get what
something
you mean.
else
Yeah.
that they still work through and still have a perfectly lovely, happy life that
Mhm.
wasn't like the horrific, tragic one that
Yeah.
we know is coming. Because
Well,
like,
it almost implies that their fates are intertwined. Like,
Yeah.
like that,
Mhm.
yeah, like that, like they can't be together. If they're together, then he avoids the accident. But without
Mhm.
her, even though like she's not in the room, like she doesn't actually have an impact on that day. Like the domino effect of time, it's almost like Final
Mhm.
Destination. Like, because she's not there, he experiences the accident, which doesn't.
I almost
again,
thought it was like, is the
actually make
quality
any
of
sense.
Mercy world going to come true then too? Because he
That's
Yeah.
what I was
didn't
also
die,
thinking
so
about.
it's like,
I
we're
know
with the
he
Romulans
does
again.
like ask question that he was like, I'm not supposed to avoid this. I've seen what happens. Like,
yeah,
for me, it's the disability thing is interesting because I grew up with, I had a congenital heart defect. I had a heart transplant in 2013. For me, it's always been like, Star Trek is cool because it can fix these things.
mhm.
And the difference, I think, is that if you have a heart problem, you're not in a community of people who are disabled. If you have hearing problems, if you have, it really becomes more of a community and people who are like, it's got an identity. I didn't have that. So I like, why would you pine over having a heart problem? Just like,
Mhm.
so I've found that it's been really difficult for me to discuss disability in Star Trek with people because of me seeing the opposite direction, like not seeing it as
Mhm.
bad. It's like, oh, we've been able to fix this thing. That's cool. Not, we don't think that you were good before. I mean, that's not, I don't know. That's just my weird perspective.
No, I get that. No, I do agree that, like, something, it was like almost, their life was like, it's almost like too idyllic.
What, the life that they lived?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Mm-hmm. So I do
like, where did we go with that?
know that their life, it was like so perfect. And maybe that's like part of it. They had this idyllic life that can't be
they should have shown them having an argument or something too. That could have been interesting.
Now I can't help but think, I don't know if anybody's seen this. I'm gonna say it right ahead of time. Spoilers for Avengers Endgame. It's a couple years old at this point, but it makes you think about people talk about like Steve Rogers getting to live through major world events and having to just be quiet. And now I'm just thinking, what we're seeing all these happy idyllic moments. If someone were to map out the Star Trek timeline, what is happening while they're getting to be happy in this cabin? Romulan Earth War. Or...
Okay, there is something.
At some point, Deidre would show up,
and I'm going to assume I'm the only one who watched this. I'm going to assume I'm the only one who watched the Charmed reboot.
I didn't know there was.
Trevor did. If he's still in the chat, I'm pretty sure. I know he loved the original.
Same.
There's something similar, and I had kind of like fell off the show at this point of like a character who was involved in a fan loved ship with like leaving the show, and they did a similar thing where they had a happy life together, and actually she's dying. Like,
oh no.
I feel like that's not an entirely uncommon trope. Like, they have a lot of them have different ways of handling it. The shows themselves.
I love that it was on the CW. Everyone, that was like I love that all the other chat is like, Rachel, what are you talking about?
Who?
Yeah.
As a CW aficionado, I feel really disappointed in myself.
Yeah. People were being awful because it was the girls were people of color and people were being racist when it came back.
Woke.
My first apartment building was the same place where Shannon Doherty's
I also
character
enjoyed
worked.
it, and people were insane about it. Like, what were you saying, Aaron?
Oh, my first apartment building was the same place where Prue worked at
that's fun.
Where they looked at all the antique stuff and evaluated it, or I don't know exactly what their company did. Something to that effect.
That's a great.
We didn't even know. That's just where the demons came from.
Yeah.
All those Paul Wraith. Pesto Parmesan, my children.
I just love when they pan up and like, oh, there's our apartment. That's my window.
I guess so. We were saying, even though like there was some hand wavy stuff that I think we all thought the performances in the Inner Light part worked. Maybe not child actor.
No, but Pike.
I have found I'm more forgiving of child actors than most people.
Well, they also like. I mean, I'm sure the little girl was fine. She was just playing with the dog, but like the teenager was just like, "Hi, mom. Hey, Dad."
Oh, that actor.
Yeah.
I thought she was supposed to be.
It felt very plastic.
Yeah. I say child because anybody younger than me is a child. No. Oh, I'm aging myself. I just feel like, the performances were great, especially Melanie. I thought like her little death when she was like, "Go get the door, Chris." Like that was that. Like, that got
especially.
For sure.
I thought they wwere also really good. It is not always easy to act when you've got old age makeup on, and I thought they like both did like really good at that.
They did a good job at the makeup too, I think.
Yeah,
they didn't go overboard and
no one looked insane. No one looked like that admiral who de-aged in TNG. An episode I kind
or
of
McCoy even.
I refuse to rewatch that episode. I cannot stand that actor.
So ham-fisted,
got aged up.
Yeah.
So the mind meld thing, what is it like? It feels like Discovery and Strange New Worlds has found it's like their sonic screwdriver. They've figured out a way for it to do everything. Did it work for you? For me, I had a problem with that because it was like it's something they could have easily done with the computer. But
Kirk has access to information that he shouldn't now. Like,
it screws
about
up
Discovery.
a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
The only thing about the mind meld that I didn't like was the insinuation that they now know everything about each other, which is not how mind melds worked. But the like, let's connect to each other so that we're in sync. Like adding that layer to a mind meld ability, that part I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because just the mind meld since from the jump, each time they've done it, there's been a slightly different purpose. Enterprise added to it. We're not supposed to be doing this kind of thing. Tuvok added some dimension to it. So I didn't mind some dimension getting added to our synchronized swimming. That had happened at all annoyed me. But the memory, I was like, his joke about the
memories and stuff, not it shouldn't be continuous contact.
Yeah.
But I thought you had. I thought you get all of each other's memories was part of it.
I thought you did. How I always thought it worked was like you got everyone's memories at that moment, and then like you might remember the memory of remembering that, if that makes sense.
That's what wasn't clear to me.
Yeah,
because did he know the Orion Moon thing because Kirk mentioned it and it was top of mind? Did Kirk know about dance lessons because that's recent? Maybe it I mean, it is very magic wand. Joanne's right, as always.
And I could see it being a thing that kind of fades over time.
That maybe Kirk would remember stuff more because he knows La'an, so he would like the memory that has two people he knows sticks with him more. And I could also see if you can control at all what memories go with like a mind meld. Spock being like, and don't mention my sister or my brother.
Like, and that's all that I would be doing. Like, my God, if I was mind melding with somebody, I was a
Skybok then.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So getting back to this episode,
he's able to like clamp down certain things.
So this episode specifically, I think there's some very easy assumptions to make. They know enough about each other that on their mind recently. I'm walking back my own thought because I don't think they necessarily said or even insinuated that now they know everything about each other. And maybe I'm also just saying that because now I'm concerned, because if Ethan Peck touched my face and could know the thoughts that I've had about him, it would we'd either be getting married or
a restraining order.
Yeah.
So
equally likely.
Easy hand wave explanation they could do for this is if they were two Vulcans doing it, they would keep the memories. But because Kirk's a human, it starts to fade, and Spock remembers, but Kirk doesn't. So like in a few days, he might remember the biggest things, but a lot of it will just fade away. You know,
I love that.
Real memories.
I mean, you have to remember what you remember. Like he'd be remembering the thing. Like in the bar. Like, oh, I remember that there was something that you said, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, try to remember your own memories from 3 days ago in a conversation you had.
Yeah, exactly.
Without
I feel
being
like between
by
Kirk
someone
having
that was
all
in
of
that
those
conversation.
memories, Pike having a lifetime of memories, we need to get like some sort of neural file storage for them and make some money.
Yes.
The
other bit
how
of
does that get saved?
the mind meld, again, Kirk just showing up, whatever, but like not being able to link the weapons for security reasons. Interesting. I don't buy it, but interesting. I'm glad that they at least explained that part, because there was plenty else in this episode that we've talked about that wasn't explained. And yeah, that's right. Access to memory doesn't mean remembering it. But the other thing that got me about this episode was the discussion about the phasers. It's like
They're not additive, they're complementary.
Yeah, like that worked for me, but then
I still want to know what that means.
Yeah, the obelisk, like starship phasers are not half the strength of a star.
Why not?
That's insane.
Why not?
Because we've been
Shields are twice the strength of stars, obviously.
Right? Like then
it's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors situation.
Suspicions never needed to happen because we've always had metaphasic shields.
Disruptors are worth 2 phasers or worth 1 shield.
Yeah. Roll a dice.
This feels like
Well,
a Star Trek Adventure
They specifically said Earths. They specifically said Earths. And I was like, no, that's just not, that just cannot be true.
Phasers are ecologically devastating, actually, if you do them wrong.
If that was true, they would never be able to hit something to disarm it.
Yeah.
They would just
Like-
blow it up instantly.
That's when you just power it down. Maybe
Yeah.
phasers at full blast are one
Oh,
half.
maybe phasers at full
Why do we
blast.
never use that then?
Yeah.
Like
Maybe it's
they
her.
need- they
maybe
can
some
fire
of the-
two beams at one time
Yeah.
from one ship too. Like, okay, well
Again,
then
the
the power,
implication is really that
whatever.
shields are so much more powerful than we realize.
Yes.
That's why when they say like shields down to 20%, we should all be like, oh my god, they've been hit with many suns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It
Maybe
it
it's
just
like
does
the-
not make sense.
Maybe it's the power output of like some square inch or something of the sun, or whatever. Like maybe it's a different way of
Maybe.
calculating that.
Right.
Like-
Well, yeah, like how is the phaser going for a single second as long as as much as one sun? They had to do it combined at the same time.
Yeah.
And hit the exact same spot. Like there was a way to do that that could have worked. Like they needed to hit two separate spots with all of the energy available to a single starship. That's why because we've seen them fire multiple beams at once. So like there's just more. Like they could have.
For me,
they
like,
needed to
instead
hit
of-
two obelisks or something.
Instead of the mind meld, it would have been kind of interesting to see Kirk develop some sort of like a program or algorithm or something really quickly that synced the two things together, because we would see more of his book learning. Like,
Yeah.
the whole idea that he's supposed to be really smart, but we don't ever see that.
Yeah.
Not that we don't ever say it.
I want to see the guy who hacked the Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah.
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 So
That'd
I
be cool
think
to
that would
see
have
him
been
work with
really
Spock on
interesting.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
He could have worked with Spock. Yeah, exactly. Then. But anyway.
Also, what was it that Scotty said that like was there a protocol or regulation or something that kept them from hooking up the Farragut's weapons to the Enterprises?
Security protocols.
All I can think is
Yeah.
you have the best engineers in the fleet here. Figure out a way around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly that. I mean,
I
I guess it wouldn't be quicker, but it would be less invasive. than the
Safety
mind
protocols don't mean anything in many other episodes. What are you talking about?
They're hard.
Oh, I did love him like trying to do an impression of Pelia and going straight vampire. Like
That's
And I
she
was
say
like-
it like a vampire.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I did love. I was like, you know what? I could see her saying it like that. Honestly,
Yeah.
That was funny. It's like, and I love that Chapel called him out like a vamp.
Yeah.
Like I almost wonder if like that like Martin Quinn was trying to do an impression of her.
I
and
would
it
say
was,
I don't
like-
know if I could do an impression of that.
I don't
sort
know
of
that
her
I could
speech.
do. An impression of her. It might come out like I'm going to drink your blood. Like
So two thoughts. One based on the comments here.
Mm-hmm.
One, honestly, in hindsight, I wish they would have found a way to tie this into the pod wraiths instead of making a whole new
Or
evil-
Armis.
I
Yeah.
get it, but I do like that it was like Strange New World has its own thing that they're
That's
doing.
fair.
Yeah. Trevor and
lot-
I co-wrote
yeah.
another article for Trek Movie, and we postulated the Paul Wraith because they definitely telegraph a little bit. Like it
Mhm.
could have been the Paul Wraith that I thought that statue could have been an updated orb that was like
Mhm.
dried out or whatever.
I'm sorry, dried out coffee.
You know
They
how
forgot
the
to
orbs
water
do.
the orb.
Yeah, it is a tear of the prophet.
Yeah,
Tears
they just-
dry.
They just he just needs some eye drops.
Tears
Yes,
dry would be the perfect
actually.
name for the episode.
Yes.
Mattel didn't need to die. We just needed some fancy eye drops.
Yeah, and like they do say pa. They say Mika Tavesta pa, and so we
Yeah.
put that in the article. We put a bunch of different things. We missed putting Armis in there, although we
Yeah.
did have a catch-all godlike creature.
Yeah.
Well, but the idea of like being all the evil, it feels like that's what they kind of implied that was inside of
Yeah,
Armis, like the whatever, all
Mhm.
those that evil from their society or whatever. So you could have kind of tied
That
them
would work
together.
because then that makes more sense in the Star Trek. Why does all evil exist? Because this one society was
Yeah.
like, we must get rid of all pure thoughts.
My other thought that I was going to mention was I was admittedly shocked that all three of our original characters that are specific to this show survived. I really thought we would lose someone by the end of the season.
Yeah.
I really thought.
I mean, Battelle is dead.
Yeah.
Oh right, I wasn't. I forgot
She's
about
not
that.
dead.
You're right. sorry.
Deadish.
We also lost Hemmer.
I guess I was thinking about characters that are actually Enterprise
main
crew
cast.
members.
Yeah. So like Ortegas.
Ortegas, La'an,
La'an.
and Pylia.
Yeah. I don't want this to happen, but I keep feeling at some point they're gonna want to stop paying Carol Kane. and And I'm like, she can just go off and have fun somewhere else. Don't kill her, please.
Yeah, I want her to show up in Academy.
Oh, that would be crazy.
That would be fun.
A guest lecture. And she's like, "Oh, I was teaching here 800 years.
Yeah.
I just went vampire."
There's your vampire.
So maybe that's what happens if you try to do a Carol Kane voice and you're not
I
Carol
bet.
Kane.
I wonder if that.
Pennsylvania.
I want the behind the scenes. I want like, hey, somebody wrote in to the script, do a Pelia accent, and
He couldn't.
during the table read, he
Yeah.
accidentally did full Transylvania, and they're like, you know what?
Well, it's
do it.
also getting to whatever he's doing, also from his like Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
he's not even starting with the same accent Carol Kane has. Like
For the Starfleet Academy, also we have a half Lanthanite.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Maybe she was
related
like,
to her.
please don't try to do an impression of my mom. You will all fail.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, and it's. I don't want small universe. We have
No,
too
I know.
much small universe happening, but Pelia and Ake knowing each other would be great.
yeah.
Being related would be too much,
I would
but
imagine
hilarious.
Lanthanites that are on Earth, or at least go through there, would probably know each other just because.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
do we know how much?
I would,
you know how
yeah, I
many
would
there
say
are?
you're
Is it
saying
like a
about her
huge-
accent. She's not from Earth, so
Yeah.
like, I think it's fine that she has a funny accent.
Yeah. Speaking of Community,
I think
I want
there was
I
someone
want
I would say
an
would say
Aliens
something.
Anonymous.
Yeah.
That's what I want. A short trek of an Aliens Anonymous, because there are so many aliens
Yeah.
on Earth. I
Combined.
sound so right wing when I make this point out of context. There are too many aliens on Earth, but there are so many. There's like what was his name? Gary 7. Laris is Gary 7
Yeah.
alternative.
Vulcans
Lanthanites,
and
Elorians, Vulcans.
The
have been
Vulcans.
here at least a couple times.
They meet at 10 forward.
Yes,
Like,
Yeah,
they do. They probably do.
that's weird. The whole 10 forward name. I'm just like, come on. It's like-
I would say everyone thinking of Carol Kane. She's doing a slight accent. That's basically what Carol Kane sounds like.
Mhm.
I
I think the main thing she does is change her cadence. Like she's
Yeah.
changed her.
Yeah.
She talked about it once. She's like, "Oh, I'm just doing a thing," but it's also the cadence of her Pelia that's so different.
yeah, the cadence, but like the high pitch of her voice is there in anything you will ever see Carol Kane do. That is what she sounds like.
Lillian in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. It's pretty similar, but she
Mhm.
speaks faster there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she does sound like her in Taxi.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's doing it's like her accent with a bit of like a European twist to it.
Carol Kanian, yes.
Yeah. I think it's just a little bit of a Fran Fine thing going on. Like that's what she sounds like, but then she's like playing it up a little to like
Mhm.
because she knows it sounds
Yeah.
funny, but that is what she sounds like. Oh.
Yep.
But you are not the first person I've had to tell, like, no, that's just Carol Kane's voice. Like
Yeah, I was surprised. We did get Spurk actually. They talked about being a date.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Before we do that, though, I forgot to mention this. I did like the idea of Uncle Sock, like a nickname from childhood continuing. That was super cute.
That's adorable. I also like kids, like a kid not being able to say Spock and it coming out Sock is like one. It's like, oh, that totally is realistic. That stuff happens. And I love that, like, Pike's like, you can say Spock, and he's like, he loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of think Spock, like, he acts like he does it, and as Spock is like, I feel like he actually does.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, the flirting, like, it was very, girl, why the hell are you here? And the execution was weird, but the scene between them, I was like, oh, okay, this is working for me. And with that, I've got to go so that I can get Tendi out for a walk before the salon and to
Just to
cool
make
off
sure-
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to make sure you know the Spurk was working for you.
Yeah, I gotta cool off a little bit before the salon at Salon Trek
Yeah,
in
before
40
someone-
minutes
Before
here on
someone somehow does
YouTube.
the problematic gay alert on
Yes.
this show.
Yes, I saw a few
Meanwhile-
people PGAing.
Yeah.
Also, we are going to, if you don't mind me doing a quick plug, we are going to be previewing our interview with Nana Visitor on the salon today.
Ooh.
So come on over for that clip, and then it will be live on Monday evening, the full interview. Thank you all very much.
Also, congrats on getting that interview.
Thank you. It was an orb experience, and
Yeah.
I exist there still.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, y'all. See y'all soon. Bye.
See you, Stan.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm going to stick around to advocate for Kirk, La'an, Spock, poly representation.
That works for me. I'm not against it.
Well, then we could it would streamline things too. We just have
It would.
everybody having like one relationship.
Yeah. I would. How does Carol work into that?
You throw Pike in; he's available now.
I don't know if available is the right word.
No,
I feel like
I'm being
give
silly.
him they need to give him a year before they
Yes.
ask him about the polycule.
No.
How did this conversation happen after Stan left?
I was trying to have him while he was still here, but I didn't want to interrupt his plug.
It still seems weirder now that that Kirk seems to know nothing about Khan. Like you had too much information at this point to not understand who Khan Noonien Singh is.
He'd just be like, oh,
I guess if it's the same last name, he might.
Yeah.
Not. I don't know.
He was like, maybe it's just like, oh, is that the ancestor of that girl I was in a weird situationship with?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as this is, he's met her a couple times. He knows that she had some kind of thing with a alternate timeline version of him. But this is also what 10. This is probably 10 years before the original series.
Yeah,
which puts
it
it like
mentioned
15
during
years.
the musical episode. I don't know how much
Oh.
he says she was like, I had an alternate timeline thing with you, and that's when he was like, so I just got a girl pregnant, so we probably shouldn't. We probably shouldn't.
But I'm trying to think though. This is approximately 15 years before Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
a
true.
lot can happen between now and then. Maybe he never sees Lon again after this, or whenever Strange New World ends.
Yeah.
I was trying to think Uncle Sock. It's like when she said that is was that during the Wrath of Khan or what?
That's what I'm saying,
Where
what
was
the
he
timeline-
when she was like, yeah?
Where I tried to do
No,
math.
he loves it. It's like after his Kolinar, he
Yeah.
thought it was hilarious, And would that actually have still happened that same way?
I've been meaning to rewatch Space Seed because I've been listening to the Con pod. Well, I listened to the first episode of the Con podcast.
What's it called, the Concast?
I haven't listened to that yet either.
They
It feels like they did know who Khan was. I mean, they kind of. I think they likened him to Hitler.
Yeah.
So I think
I
they did
who
know.
he was. So I think they do know who he is in Space Seed, right? And
Yeah.
it just they were surprised he
Was there?
I don't
was
think they
there.
recognized the picture of him at first. They didn't recognize who he was at first, but once they
Yeah.
pulled him up, they're like, oh, this guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could think of
to
some
fair,
of the World War or the current guerrilla war kind of stuff. You don't necessarily maybe know what that person looks like. You hear it in the news a lot, but you don't have a photo of that character. That person.
this is true. We don't know. I don't know that this was a real timeline, so I don't know that the Patel
Well, yeah.
Father,
So
you're
I would
stepping on all
maybe-
our fun.
I'll just I'll use Genghis Khan, not if I saw if somehow Genghis Khan is still alive in a thing and he woke up, I wouldn't
Well-
actually know what Genghis Khan looks like. I've
well-
only seen drawings of him, and I'm
No one
thinking
actually
maybe
would.
after the Third World War, there's not as many pictures
Yeah.
during
Yeah,
that
they
time.
had this whole there's a missing information, all this stuff. It's you only time traveled 19 million times. You could have already
Yeah.
updated your database at this point. But okay, whatever.
hmm That's why the historian had to go with him, figure it out.
That's why they're going through the Guardian of Forever and TAS when they're looking at
Mhm.
the beginning of the Orion culture and they're kind of just filling all that information up.
Going back to this episode, I'm
Yeah.
trying to think.
Sorry.
No.
No.
I just was curious.
How dare you try to keep us on track, RC?
Yeah.
Let's.
Take me away from my crimes.
Yeah.
No, I was just trying to think, what kind of loose threads do we still have? Because we have two more seasons, right?
Two more.
And are they both shorter seasons?
Only fifth season is shorter. It was
Okay.
basically
bizarre
they were
reason.
told
'Cause
they
this season
were
was shorter, wasn't it?
yes, the fifth season is shorter,
Okay.
but the fourth season should be normal.
So 10 episodes, right? Or 12? So I'm just, I'm mainly just trying to think about what running plot threads are still left.
That Spock is in a relationship.
Yeah. All right. I say, but we kind of know how that one's going to end. More or less.
Mm-hmm.
We know what the end state of it looks like. Let's say we don't know the events in between.
I would say because you're saying small world with like a Patel Pike April wedding. That is a small world that makes sense. Like that's how the real world is. That like you might grow up with someone and then fall in love with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 10 plus 6, so it's 16 more episodes.
Okay.
They have one number short of 47, and for some reason they just decided not to do that.
Yeah.
What happened?
Because
to
they
Well,
just
it-
love Star
Is
Trek.
that
The people who
syndication
mark
or-
it don't know Star Trek.
Well, 47 shows up in Star Trek a lot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a fake fan. Sorry.
Yeah.
no. Look it up though, and you'll see it's like you go back and watch TNG. You'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay.
You
Well,
will
that's fun.
never be able to unsee it or now
Yeah.
or unhear it more likely.
I have forgotten more than most people will learn.
You know what? I've known you for a while. That's true. Like, I also that Mbenga is on the Enterprise in TOS, but not. He is not chief
Not the
medical
CMO.
officer.
Yeah.
So that
Right.
is a loose thread. Wherever number 1 ends up is also. I think there's a lot of
Yep.
that. Like, where do these people end up that are not still on the Enterprise?
I'd like to see her
Hopefully not
actually
prison.
get command or something.
Mm. Where's Sam's family? That's their loose thread.
Yeah. Wait, how many threads of the storyline though that they put together this year that is really? It feels like kind of, yeah, maybe. What am I trying to say? I just lost my thread. Sorry. I wonder if anything that we've had in the last year that hasn't really been resolved, because this feels like it wrapped up a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I read somewhere that people when they were making this, they weren't sure if they were getting more seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I
You can
definitely
tell.
got that vibe watching this
Yeah.
episode. That there was a lot of callbacks. They were trying to like, and in a way, like, I'm
It could have
obviously
been.
very glad we have 2 more seasons. This
Yeah.
would have been a decent series finale if it had to have been. I'm
Yeah.
glad it's not, but it wouldn't have been a bad one.
Yeah, if it was the
And they
finale,
might-
then I would feel even more so that it would need to have been a 2-parter. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I
They would just be able
think
to
if
call
it
it New
was,
Worlds and
they
New
might actually,
Civilizations.
yeah, you might actually convince them to like give us another 15 minutes or something like that. They might be
Mhm.
able to do that if it really, really was the final. They did that with Discovery. I
This
think.
would work that Father has mentioned because I remember I think I read this interview with Rebecca Romaine too, but Rebecca Romaine seems to think there's a role for her in Star Trek Year 1. Maybe she'll be in a boss admiral role like April.
So this is me
That'd be
being out of the
interesting.
loop.
Yeah.
Is this like a confirmed additional series?
No, it's something they want to make.
Oh, okay. Like
like
if
the
they
whole-
said that out loud, or is that something fans
Yes.
want
No.
to make?
It's something like Akiva Goldsmith who said it's like he wants to make a Kirk show. He's admitted I want to make a Kirk show.
Oh, okay.
It's like
So,
what's his face saying Star Trek Legacy.
yes.
Right.
Not
yeah.
real, not greenlit.
Yeah.
Not anywhere near that. The con
I like this
podcast
episode.
has been
Yeah.
happening for at least since like 2018, I think, or something like that.
Mhm.
Because I've known about it for a long time. I'm curious
The-
to see if the plot is actually the same. But I had a friend who had
they were trying to make a show, and then they were
yeah.
like,
Well, they were going to do audio drama. I knew that they were
Yeah.
going to actually make it a podcast. But what is it? SETI Alpha 5 was one
Mhm.
of my friend's podcasts, and they
Mhm.
changed the name because they were asked to,
Oh,
so they could have this as the name of their, and then they called it Con. So, yeah. And several years later, at this point,
Paramount just wanted to be able to go. No, this is SETI Alpha. 5."
Yeah.
yeah.
um, I guess out
Star
of
Trek
curiosity,
Una.
have
That would
either
be
of you listened to that episode of Con yet?
No, I
I am
haven't.
not familiar with the show at all, but I am okay with spoilers.
Tis the podcast. No, I just thought it was well made. I want like.
I was going to listen to it tomorrow on the way over to.
Yeah, I
Pasadena.
think David Andrews is a really good choice. I thought he was doing really well, and he like was making a choice like he's not just trying to do an impression. Like he always sounds like David
Fine
Andrews. But he
Corinthian
does,
leather.
yeah, he does like he
Oh,
sounds
okay, that is who I was thinking of.
in yes. Seed from Lost.
But he sound like a vampire. Everybody sounds like a
Yeah.
vampire.
Maybe we're all just bad at. Maybe us and Martin Quinn are all just bad at impressions. That might just be.
I am notably bad at impressions.
Oh, this apparently Tex-Trek Main Show will be covering the first 2 episodes of Con next Friday.
Cool.
I genuinely was not aware of that. So,
Are we going to do
I think-
first reaction?
Yeah.
We kind of spoke to it. It sounds like though that we don't have too many story threads. We know where some characters are going to be and how they have to get there, but we don't necessarily have like any kind of lingering things left. Like Ortega's trauma is not healed, but it's. I mean, realistically, it's not healed, but like it's story healed.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they never mention it again, it wouldn't be unusual.
Yeah. And, like, if it's healed enough that it'd be like, yeah, I can see this never coming up again, and she's just hopefully seeing a counselor off to the side.
Yeah.
And maybe maybe a little bit against La'ano.
Yeah. Is there anything that's
apparently I'm
non-character
missing staff
related?
meeting. Sorry?
Like, is there anything that's non-character related? Something that's like a plot or or even what's his face coming back, Trelane or something like that.
I was gonna say, I was trying to think about what all happened this season.
Just get stills from Lost for every time Naveen Andrews is supposed to be speaking.
That's funny.
God, I'll try.
Yeah, so
I have a fun
there's
fact about
Terrarium.
Lost and like that I've like tried. It's like not relevant, so I was like, don't bring it up. Don't let your ADHD win, Rachel.
Oh, Beto, we don't know what happened to him.
Well, I mean, he
Hopefully just vanished.
he
but
did his little documentary and then he left, right?
Well,
he
then he
came
had a
back.
date.
No, he's on the next. Yeah, he was on the next episode. He's on the four.
He's in the next episode. He's in 4.5 Vulcans.
Yeah. Sorry, but I mean, like, yeah, I guess plot wise, I figured his whole thing is just dating Aurora.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, I wonder if that will come back at all, or if that's just over.
Yeah,
Where's Doug?
And that's not a
possibility
huge
it
plot. That's not a big deal. But
Where do Una and Doug end up together? That's what I need to know. I'm genuinely
I would
fine
love
if
to
that
see a
happens.
return of
Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt. I love him and everything. Like, is it my favorite, most true to Star Trek Vulcan character in my opinion? No, but I loved it so much.
I was like, I don't care. I'm
yes,
delighted.
Uhura can do much better.
Yeah.
It's not. We've had 2 Doctor Who references in like almost very short order.
Yeah.
Do you
Listen,
think this is putting a crumb trail down for something for a future season,
Well, then there's
or is it just
also-
fun?
Has Doctor Who
Where-
and Star Trek crossed over in the comics?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they also recently
In a video
crossed
game.
over in that Lower Decks game.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
don't-
that. I was
I
saying, Star Trek
enjoyed
has also
that was the
crossed
big
over
announcement.
with,
We were like all
Marvel
excited.
and
We thought it
DC.
was going to be an episode, and then we saw the.
I was like,
Comic-Con
it's
thing,
not
like,
going to be an
oh, it's a game.
episode because it's.
No, I mean we were hoping
I
it
was
would
like,
be. Let's
the
go.
amount of lawyers that would need to be
Yeah.
involved.
Although Paramount seems to be buying everything.
Apparently, I don't understand. I think there are literally laws about this.
The forces of the market breeding monopolies under capitalism? No.
I
That's fair. I don't know what to say to that either.
I don't know, but no, because I was thinking because at one point Aaron and I were talking about it. He was like, everything's gonna be Disney, and I was like, Disney owning both Star Wars and Star Trek and Marvel and DC
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
like insane.
Yeah, I didn't literally mean that, but it feels like it sometimes.
Wow, fathery.
Listen, we got live action Lower Decks. I don't know why this can't happen.
Yeah. I love Doctor Who, so I would love for it to happen, but it might make I think it needs to be. I think it would actually work better if you did it on Doctor Who, just because I think the goofier stuff works there better. And they
That
just
would be
like
weird.
I'm okay
the
with it being
TARDIS the TARDIS pops them into a universe, and then we pop away.
But
That'd
like
be-
Maybe that ends up being Doctor Who that turns them into Muppets. That like
Yeah,
we'll put it all
about
into
it.
one
But
episode.
yeah, I think every season should get at least one goofy episode.
yeah.
Just one maximum because of the limited number of episodes. But
I
they could also go. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I've been told that Doctor Who TNG crossover comic is really good, but I've never actually read it.
It's not bad. The art is to me is very like lackluster.
I'm never really a big fan of Star Trek comic art.
It feels like it was like here's a draft of what we want to show. So it's like now we'll
Yeah.
go back and make this more detailed. Oh, we're done. Okay.
I should rephrase that. It's mostly because the ones that I have primarily read have always felt like they're taking, because a lot of them were for 2009, and it felt like they were just taking pictures of the actors and like tracing them.
I've only done comic book covers, so I don't.
Yeah,
I
was
don't touch
like-
the inside, thankfully. Not thankfully.
forgot about that.
I wouldn't mind. It would just take like 9 hours.
I
to
was
do,
like,
half
does
a
RC
frame.
know he makes comic book covers?
Okay.
I was like, I don't know. Wait, it's true, but I've seen that happen before with crossovers.
Oh, that's what I was going to say about the idea of the Doctor Who Star Trek crossover. They could go the route that the CW Flash did when they crossed over with Supergirl before it was on the CW, where in the middle of an episode he is running, disappears for a second, and then reappears, and it's like, huh, what? And then the same thing is happening in the Supergirl episode. They never reference anything that happens in the Supergirl episode in the Flash show, but they could just do that, where say the like you said, the TARDIS appears and then disappears, and everyone just says, "Whoa, that was a weird week, wasn't it?"
I was, and then now you have to go to Disney Plus, get another streaming service.
It's fine because Paramount Plus is just going to be melded into Disney like Hulu was, or maybe they're both just going to be melded into Hulu. Who knows how this goes?
I think they said they're getting rid of Hulu.
I love having only 6 companies.
You know what? At that point, I'm like, life is already so weird. This might as well happen. Like
6 companies, but I'm still paying for like 12 streaming services.
And like
somehow.
just to Fathery's point, yes, they did. It was fictional in there, but they also recently had a comment that was sort of like, "Oh, we need to go visit those people." So somehow they have the ability to go to where it's not fictional. I think. Although at one point he talked about going to a different universe that it took like all of the energy of several. I don't know what it was, but it's like before it's like just having 2 universes was almost impossible. In
several
Doctor
suns,
Who,
perhaps.
Yeah, man,
several
exactly.
phaser blasts.
Yeah. So now it's like there's a multiverse. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever.
You know, I'll allow anything at this point. I remember when the TV show Sleepy Hollow came out, Bones had a thing where 2 of the characters went, "We have to go home and watch it" as promo. Those 2 shows later crossed over.
Oh, that's funny.
Does the resurrection of Sleepy Hollow make sense in the universe of Bones? No.
And I think it also takes place in the same universe as The Finder.
That also happened in like Adam 12 and Emergency.
The
like
fucking Finder in 2025 RC. Like
It came up on Hulu the other day as recommended watch.
Don't. It ends on a cliffhanger.
I've seen it.
I-
Anyway,
In-
you only watched 3 seasons of Bones and you watched The Finder?
correct.
I
live to astound you.
This is like how long we've known each other and my weirdly good memory that I've known exactly how many seasons of Bones you've watched.
Once you have the cannibal cultist, how can you top it?
I could see that bothering that it's weird that Doctor Who is more fantastical than Star Trek.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like I definitely understood what people were saying that this episode felt kind of Doctor Who-ish, but like, you know, I would say mostly because of the hand waviness did it in the way of Doctor Who, but you know, Technobabble is really just hand waving with extra steps in a lot of cases.
She was hand waving and literally her hands were glowing. And there's a lot of visual elements that felt very similar too.
Jill,
you got me there.
Jill, I have seen all 12 seasons of Bones, for the record. You're not the only
I'm
one.
Sure I did at some point. I just don't remember.
And Sleepy Hollow does not take place in the 1800s. Ichabod Crane was asleep for many, many, many years and woke up in modern time.
Got that
Sleepy
Rip
Hollow
Van
was an
Winkle
insane
syndrome.
show.
I like when Donna was talking about Naughty, which is like a British children's thing, where she's like, we can't go see it. Can we? Is he real? No. And she's go back and forth. He's like, there's no Naughty. I was like, I kind of feel like that's sort of like the Star Trek in some sense.
Although maybe it will be like where he's insisting there's no Sherwood, like Robin Hood wasn't real and they've found Robin Hood in Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah.
It's the 12th Doctor story?
I think so.
Claire is definitely there, so it's either 11 or 12.
I'm gonna say I don't think I've watched Doctor Who since Matt Smith left, so it's been a minute.
Wow,
I take that back.
that's
I
a
did
while.
watch Jodie Whittaker for a couple episodes at least.
Oh, so anyway, but there's in the chat emergency, which and one Adam or an Adam 12 or two, cop and help like emergency shows, doctor shows in the 70s, and at one point they go into the Adam 12 universe, and then also at one point they're rushing back to so that they don't miss Adam 12 on TV. So you're like, wait, what? What is it? Is it are they real or are they fake?
Within an infinite multiverse, all things happen.
I know that's
think for
exactly
1971
what
that might be a little hard.
Thing was where, and I was like, they exist. And also, I was mad because my favorite character had died on Bones, and I went, is resurrection possible in this universe now? Because if so, I would like him back, please.
It is, but not for you.
Well, no. It's obvious also in Bones where they're always doing autopsies. If resurrections of adoption, we should be more careful with these things.
Well, I mean, that's kind of any like kitchen sink universe where all things exist, like Marvel or DC. Yeah. You run into that problem of like, well, magic can be known to the public, but it can't be too well known because then otherwise people would be using it more often. Yeah. And resurrection stuff like have to be really, really limited and specific. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was thinking back. I'm just looking at a list of the cast. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, who's?
I just literally.
Let's say besides being in a relationship with Spock, what does La'an have going
on? Shooting Gorn.
So she's got
being obsessed with Amelia Moon.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll get another one of those. Like, oh, we brought the holodeck back.
See, I don't from a logical universe perspective, I don't want them to do that, but I did love that episode.
Well, the thing is they can bring it back to actually make it more like it was in the animated series, where the rec room.
Just have her
stop making fun of the name, too.
Yeah.
That was mean.
And now I just want to see her reading an Amelia Moon book. She's like, I don't want it to kill me again, but I'll read the book.
Yeah. Let's say Ortega's, I guess, again, they kind of already set up her story and kind of mostly resolved it.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned this last week, but I was like, more Ortegas. And they're like, trauma, here you go. And I was like, okay.
This isn't probably, I mean, maybe we'll do this later at some point, but what would you want to see in next year's episode? Like, just based off of just what we know now.
Is the Muppet thing actually happening, or is that just a joke?
The Muppet thing is actually happening.
I thought so, but I just wasn't 100% sure.
I don't know how it's happening, but yeah.
I'd like to see either this season or season 5, like, see Roger Corby going on his mission. That leads
to
his downfall.
Yeah. I would say, I really, like, my one problem with Corby as a reoccurring character is just, like, it implies that the Enterprise is not really going in a vast amount of distance. Mm-hmm. Like, that they keep being able to, like, meet up with him and stuff. I guess it just implies that, like, that a lot of these star systems are a lot closer than I would imagine them to be otherwise. But like, I really like the actor who played him. I think, and I liked especially like his relationship with Spock. I think it really worked. So I would, if they found more things to give us with him, that'd be cool. I would really love a Sam centric story.
I would too. I really like Dan Jeanette as Sam, and I feel like he's just kind of been used as like, he's in the background. Look, we've got a Kirk, and it's not Jim.
Like, I'm now that you've said that, I would like a story that is the two Kirk brothers in like a Starship Mine situation.
Mm-hmm. We're stuck in a shuttlecraft together or something.
They're going to a family reunion and they have to meet up with his wife.
Yeah, and children, and then shenanigans ensue. Well, like something focused on them where they get to show off their respective qualities, but it focuses a little more on Sam because we know more about Kirk or about James. Especially if there's anyone who joins him on the mission who exclusively refers to Sam as Kirk, and then both of them respond.
Yes, I think would be funny.
Yeah.
I feel maybe it's tomorrow when La'an at some point meets Kirk. She's like, it's like Sam's brother. I just really like him being referred to as Sam's brother. I think that's funny.
It would make sense though, yeah, because some people are gonna know Sam first. And I forget, is James older or is Sam older? Or are they twins? They're not twins, no.
Sam
played
is
by the
older.
Same actor in TOS.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. Sam is older because Sam still exists in the Kelvin universe that his father died right after he was born.
All right, hey, excellent point.
That's
Maybe we'll do it. That would be interesting. A Kelvin Prime timeline crossover or something like that.
I think it's established elsewhere too, but I was like, I'm pretty sure Sam still exists in the Kelvin universe. He has to be older.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna piggyback on what Jill said. I want my idea to be the only time we see Jim that season.
It's like a mix of like, because I do like the performance.
Oh, 100%.
But it's just I was like, I want to see our original characters.
We
like,
only have Pike for so long, and then he's gonna be gone.
He has an expiration date.
We should enjoy the time that we have together.
Canonically, do we know anything about like what Jim Kirk is doing immediately before being captain of the Enterprise? Has that ever been established? Like, is there a possibility that he was like the first officer for a period before becoming captain?
Oh,
I don't think we do.
Okay. Because I'm just saying, like, if they want to have him on the show more, at some point he has to become an actual member of the crew. And I would say, I feel like that could be maybe
isn't he a member of the
final
crew?
season thing. But if he was never a member of the crew and he just went straight to being captain, then I don't know.
He is a member of the crew, though, right? Because he's on the Enterprise. I mean, that's where he's working. Or am I incorrect?
What was that?
I said that Jim Kirk actually is part of the crew. He's actually on the Enterprise, isn't he? Or am I
No, I
imagining
thought
that?
he's on the Farragut.
Now he's
Oh,
now
not
he's
Jim
on-
Kirk. Sorry, it's like Sam. Kirk.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah.
No. Yeah, Sam is on the crew.
Yeah.
Jim, they're saying if we want Jim in the show this much, we've got to
I
figure out
transposed their names in my head for some reason.
Yeah, once again, the Farragut can't just be constantly following the same path as the Enterprise, especially if they're trying to explore strange new worlds.
I think that ship sailed in season 1.
They set us up.
They're like, is the Farragut stalking us?
But that's actually a good point that I just reminded myself of. Corby gave her that crystal with all the different star maps on it, so they do have that. There's our storyline, is they're going to actually start exploring some strange new worlds, hopefully.
Well, and then they also, I mean, that's what they referenced at the end of this episode, that he, with that thing, discovered a bunch of uncharted planets. And they said it's like
5-year mission.
So I think they're implying, another 5-year mission could be.
Space is big. There's always more places to check out for a 5-year mission.
They don't even know about the wormhole to like another quadrant yet. I'm trying to think of what else. I want Christina Chong to put on a fun outfit so I can have another cosplay. Or I could do the cosplay for her, like a covert thing where she had like her hair down.
I agree. Christina Chong should do more things.
Yeah.
I was just reading that Sam originally was supposed to be in the original notes for Operation Annihilation was that he was the older Kirk brother by 10 years.
I don't think Antoinette is 10 years older than.
No, he's now younger.
Well, then also when they also just didn't cast another actor and just put William Shatner in a mustache, that makes it so they can't be like.
Yeah.
He's not that much older.
It should have been Paul Wesley playing Sam Kirk.
No, they should have gotten Sam Kirk's actor to play Kirk, Jim Kirk, when he came on the show.
I am now curious which one of them is older.
Of the actors?
Yeah, they are the same age. Never mind. That's not. They are both 43.
I'm just curious, what do we know about him beyond what we know now in the show? But
I mean, not much, right?
Yeah. Got a family.
Got a family, but like I would not know that if I hadn't. If I just watched this show.
There's no indication that he has a family. It's very weird.
I'm just hoping he's not a bad dad like Worf. And he went, "Where are your kids?" Like Hopefully it's
there
like
isn't a good track run for
I mean, to be fair, we've never
Star Trek
kids on this Enterprise. Hopefully it's going to be like Sulu in the Kelvin movies. We're like, no, we're at a star base. I'm going to go see my kid now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
because that's what I was trying to think. I was like, well, this isn't the era where they start bringing whole families on board necessarily.
No. And again, I seem to be, as a military brat, the only one that never like phased at all. I was like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Again, I was watching TNG for the first time, sitting on a military base, and I went, yeah, that tracks. I'm here. Wesley's here. Great.
In Equality of Mercy, Sam became a captain. So maybe he will still do that.
Yeah. He does ask how's the family, and then they never ask again.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen his cabin, and we don't know
Yeah.
where he like hangs out. Like, there's no, not we're gonna like see some pictures of his kids on the desk or something because we don't see enough of him to see that.
I think it's interesting because I think we all agree that like I like Dan Jeanette a lot.
Mhm.
Like I almost wonder if maybe Dan Jeanette's just a little too charming, and we're not supposed to be like, give us more Sam.
I don't think they should be hiring any actor with that thought process.
No, but I wonder if they think we're weird. They're like, well, we have other Kirk, Sam. We have a lot of other Kirk.
We have Kirk at home.
Give us more Sam. There's plenty of episodes and movies of Jim.
God, now I'm like, I'm trying to remember if Dan Jeanette actually like keeps that mustache in the real life.
I hope he's a member of the Stash Squad. I hope it's absolutely
Oh
real.
no, God, I was talking about Star Trek stuff about something about Dan Jeanette, and then I turned the TV on and my TV like turned on to like a Hallmark channel before I like changed to what it was, and Dan Jeanette was there, and I was like, oh, hello.
But I think everyone here is in agreement that we need a Sam Kirk focus episode.
Yeah. Well, especially because I know he's not like that long for the world.
At some point, yeah. He died on Deneva. Killed by a flying plastic vomit.
It makes it more sad because I like him. Like, I feel like next time I go rewatch that episode, I'm gonna be like, oh no, I'm sad now because I like Sam.
I mean, listen, we also know that this Spock that we've been watching and we really like eventually goes to the Kelvin timeline.
Yeah.
We're watching a prequel. It is.
I don't know. I gotta ask y'all on that one. How long does it take to grow a mustache?
I was just actually typing that out.
Scratch. It's been a minute.
It depends on the person,
Yeah.
obviously, but
Yeah.
I don't know, a couple weeks for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say a stash like
Because
that.
I've actually
too.
been growing this in.
I can't think of the last time I was clean shaven. It's been a while.
Well, yeah, you're in a relationship with Ashley. I don't think it's allowed.
Yeah, but I do it sometimes just to
Just to annoy.
to assert my independence.
Doesn't look like Dan Jeanette has that must. Well, no, sometimes he does.
Yeah, that's what maybe he just grow it fast. Unlike
Or
scrolling through his
they
Instagram.
put it on until he actually grows it in or something like that. Or
I
Yeah.
hope Sam Kirk gets his own inner light moment before he dies in excruciating pain.
everybody gets a life
Yeah.
before they don't. Yeah, that was. It's weird how he's got
that's
the
a
life
good
with
point.
Vina.
Yeah,
That's right.
fathery.
Yeah,
You could.
buy a tent. Yep.
Now we all know.
Well, Sam does have a lot of facial hair. Well, a very specific facial hair. But yeah,
I'm
no,
just
he's got a
randomly
fake
looking at
life
pictures
with
of-
Vina. I guess the life with Vina is kind of like it's real
mean,
for the
she's
two
there.
of them,
Right.
but there's just like it's more like a life on a holodeck to me as
Yeah.
opposed to like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
this was.
Yeah.
But there were like where she was on. I mean, it wasn't that they had those memories, but there's whole oh, you're sitting by the picnic and with your horse, and it's like he's like, wait, I know all of this. Like, so
Mhm.
she sort of inserted herself into that life,
Oh yeah.
even though that wasn't very long. I don't know, Vina. Like for the amount of time that they spent together, I don't know if that's really enough to like. Yeah, I'm gonna go spend the rest of my life there on a planet where I apparently can pretend I don't have a disability.
Mm-hmm.
But Dan Jeanette's had mustache or at least facial hair, but it's never been like quite that specific.
Yeah.
And
My
it doesn't
guess
look
is
like
that
it glows in that dark either. It looks like maybe they tinted it or something.
yeah, I mean that wouldn't surprise me. To be like, we have a weirdly specific look we have to go to because of a choice made in the 60s.
Yeah. And I know that, and this is kind of back on track with the show, just that that's a lot of the stuff that they've been doing is just like, we don't want to be tied down by canon. We want to be able to do our thing and tell a story, which I get. But there's so many things, to me it feels like that makes the universe more rich, not less.
Yeah.
There's certain things you can't do, sure, but then you can work around that. Your writers figure it out. It's sort of weird because it's almost like you're writing a historical drama, and then just decide to like, no, this is what they wore then, or whatever. Like I don't,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
because
thinking
we know
about,
so much about it.
based on the comment here about like the reboot or remake of TOS, no year
Mhm.
or Curse Year One. Do we know explicitly that the first season of Star Trek is their first year of the 5-year mission?
No, so I think it's not.
Oh, okay.
Which is with the idea that that's what year one would be. It would actually be the
Ah,
first
okay.
year of that.
And there's 5 more years of the Enterprise right now, right? I mean, they're in the middle of their 5-year,
Mm-hmm.
the last 5 years.
Theoretically, yeah. I
Okay.
guess I wasn't
I
100% sure about how long.
believe so.
About how
Is
long
this
Pike
the
would
start of
have
the
to
last
go.
5 years then with that disc?
Oh,
I
maybe.
don't have to go look at the time, but yeah.
Maybe that's what they're saying. They're going to do 5 more years of this. Then Pike has to go help some students out, get a little melty.
Yeah.
Get a little melty.
See, I could see wanting to avoid being melty. I do get that.
Yeah, we were watching it live. We had we used to do watch-alongs at the theater, and the one person got up and just stormed out when he like saw his fate and kind of like screamed. It's like,
Mhm.
that is so ableist. And it's like, I'm sorry. If I saw that happened to me, I would also scream.
Yeah.
Like that's
And
He
I
also
always
feels
took
it,
it-
doesn't he?
yeah.
I also took it that he was feeling it and was
That's what I mean.
screaming
It's
he
like,
was in
yeah,
pain.
he's literally feeling. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, that he was literally feeling it and was like, I'm in pain.
yeah. But so that was a really weird. And then she never came back. Like, all right.
Mhm.
That was when we had Mary Chifo come and hang out with us.
Ah. That was
When
Where
but
she
yeah,
met-
when Pike has his accident, he's like an admiral at that point. He's no longer
Yeah.
captain of the Enterprise, so it's not like
yeah,
that's not
he
the
is not
cause.
captain of the Enterprise when he has his
No.
accident. He I guess he's either like admiral or commodore or something like that at that point.
Right.
Yeah, they seem to like
Here,
Commodores more
Father,
than
you will know
Admirals,
things. This season's set in 2261, the centennial year. Each has book report to Janeway and Q2 establishes Kirk's 5-year mission to be 2265 to 2270.
So
Okay.
these last 2 seasons will cover sometime between 61 and
here we go.
65 then.
Pike is fleet captain again when he is injured.
Got it.
Yeah, yes, that's what I think. Like, he is melted by radiation. That is very severe. And also, I always Aaron's his device is not connected, so I think Aaron's having some technical issues. Yeah, I always took it to mean that he was, because it's like not that he was watching it, but he was supposed to be like in the moment feeling it.
Yeah.
So again, I thought he was feeling being melted by radiation.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
And he screamed because he was in severe amounts of pain.
Once
Look,
again,
if
that
he's
sounds
like-
awful.
If he was like just in a wheelchair and he screamed, I'd be like, don't do that. Yeah.
So yes, it hurt. The only options that either hurt or you got superpowers.
Hurt or surprise. Maybe sometimes both.
I'll say yeah. If you're an X-Men, you get both.
Yeah. But you gotta have at least one of them.
Right. This pen is
Ah,
was
Aaron's
3
back.
actually.
I've
Although,
had internet issues for the last week.
Does anyone? I know the Solana's starting soon. Does anyone have last minute thoughts about the season finale?
I remain optimistic about
Yeah.
the future 2 seasons.
It was sort of an inconsistent end to an inconsistent season, but it was enjoyable.
Mhm. So I did enjoy the episode,
Which is
and
sort of like a whole season. Is sort of
yeah.
like that. It's like, yeah, it's good. It's not the best.
I
It has some big issues.
I did enjoy this episode. I feel like this will be an episode where I'll go back and watch certain scenes because I'm like, I want to feel something.
Yeah.
Don't question what that means about me as a person. And
If you have to record yourself crying for something, you can.
yeah, there we go. I do want, you know what? That's what I want in the next 2 seasons. I
That
want
would be
Mary
very
Chifo.
There, that.
And I thought it was a good send off for Patel. I really enjoyed her this season,
Yeah.
and I hope Melanie. I would say like Melanie. Scarfano. Hopefully that's how you pronounce her last name. I think this season showed that she is like a really good actress that sometimes like was just kind of playing a girlfriend role for a while on Strange New Worlds. And I hope I see her in more stuff soon because I think she's really good.
She could come back as a Force ghost. Just randomly giving him shit in the kitchen.
Well, they'll just add a new power to mind melds. You can actually communicate with the dead.
Oh, yes. Apparently she'll be.
No, that's what Pelia can do. Remember, she talked to she was a roadie for the dead.
And
their species can talk to the dead.
Does everyone want to say where we can find you around the internet?
You can find me at RC Byler on most places, or you can feel free to check out masksandmayhem.com, the actual play superhero show that I do with Rachel and a few other friends, at Mayhemcast across the internet.
And you can find me at Geek Filter on the socials. And in the latest IDW book of the Strange New Worlds comics, they have put everything together. I'm sure that my cover's in there with the Illyrian Enigma, which was a short. So that cover should be also in the book, so you can find it there. So you can find me sort of in a book. But yeah, and then Star Trek Adventures is supposed to be coming out with a book related to something that I don't even know about. But I have did some artwork in that as well.
Again, you can Masks of Mayhem. We play Mutants and Masterminds 3rd Edition with RC over there, and I'm often here. I guess less so now the season's done, but I'm sure I'll pop up around the Trek internet in general. That seems to be where I hang out. I guess it's been really fun talking about these this latest season of Strange New Worlds. Hopefully, I think the next time will be next year. We'll get Starfleet Academy, which I'm really looking forward to. Until then, everyone, live long and prosper.
Subscribe to YouTube to watch the Tex-Trek podcast live or listen to us later on your favorite podcast platform. Follow Stephen Fothery on socials at TXTrek. Thank you and take care.